What's up, people? We are back with more of Danganronpa. In the previous video, Sakura died. Oh my god, she actually is just dead. It's not really that surprising that she is dead, considering the fact that, you know, people knew that she was the quote-unquote snitch, or the person that was, you know, the spy for the mastermind. So it's not really too surprising, because she was just made out to be, you know, everyone's public enemy number one, basically, right? So she was almost like the safe kill, actually. Just like, yeah, we need to kill a character here, let's just... she was just an easy target for most, because then it wouldn't really be like, okay, what is their motive exactly for killing that person, you know? Because every single one of us, besides obviously wanting to get out of here and becoming the Black and then eventually graduating, I mean, that's definitely a motive for everyone, right, at some point. But this still is like an added extra motive again, so yeah. Not too surprising that she is dead, but we still gotta figure out who it is, and it's investigation time for that. So we see a lot of clues here on the ground, actually. This was actually the fact because we broke it, but we'll first start with the people that are here, left to right, and then we'll just check out all the possible clues lying on the floor. What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I'd better go before he crushes my soul completely. Alright, thanks Byakuya for your useful input. But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? Poison, it has to be poison. Like, or if it's not poison, then at least some sort of tranquilizer in a sense, so that she's in a weakened state, so that that person can beat her / kill her, you know? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
They would have needed to, if they expected to stand any chance against her. Oh, Hina, I know she's devastated. She is probably really both a mixture of devastated, really sad, and really angry as well, probably. We already know who did it.
I won't forgive you.
Byakuya. I almost said Byoko, like it was a combination of the two. Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon. The Monokuma files said she died right around then. But that does, I mean, yeah, okay, I can sort of understand that it has to be one of the three between them then, but it still doesn't really narrow it down between who it exactly would be, you know? Because all three of them know of it, because all three of them had received the notes. But then, even if one person does, yeah, it makes it really weird, because, you know, what if two people show up on time and then one person is missing and then Sakura is dead? Then the other two people immediately start thinking like, oh wait, if this information gets out, at least, you know, if they know that there's supposed to be a third person here that was someone, one out of those three, then, you know, the missing person would probably become the suspect then. So, dang, I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even. This never would have happened. Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets. I know. Right, we got her account. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Well, why not do it immediately with Byakuya? No? Oh, there is. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect. Yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? That's true. Byakuya would most likely not show up because even before that note, he was already sort of scared. I don't know why though. I mean, yeah, okay, because you know, he would probably want to if he's going to like win this game, it's gonna be all with mind games, outsmarting your opponent and that sort of stuff. He's not gonna win by brute power, brute force, you know, that's not his style. Whereas he think because Sakura looks so intimidating, probably, and because she's both the spy, or was confirmed to be the spy, that probably like makes him think like, yeah, it's better to avoid Sakura. Like, I would probably do the same too, unless I was really good friends with her like Hina. Then I would sort of, you know, consider and actually just talk to her face to face. Like, okay, what the fuck exactly happened? You are the spy? Why? How come? How do you feel about it now? That sort of stuff, you know? Trying to find the reason why that happened. Why she ended up being the spy. But yeah. So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. That's a peculiar thing though. Ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. Like, you know, wouldn't Byakuya know that this would have been something of importance, right? I feel like Byakuya might have... I mean, you just sort of... I feel like if you get a note from a person, regardless from who it is, if you just get anything, I just feel like you keep it. Because at some point, it might have something to do with the murder at a certain point, and it could be brought up as possible evidence, you know? So to just quickly shred it and throw it away seems kind of like not overreaction, but just kind of an... It's either done on purpose so that nothing links back to him, I'm not sure, but because we don't have any more evidence about Byakuya being possibly the killer, but or it's just him being like, I guess, a bit emotional, thinking, oh no, Sakura, hell no, and then he rips it to shreds. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay. Thanks. That's Byakuya's account. I'm guessing we're all done talking with Hina? Yeah.
I won't forgive you.
Alright, time to start investigating the room. Let's start from left to right. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink. And it's empty. Oh, here we go. Someone could have easily put that poison in a protein drink, right? Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab. I remember, you know, when the first time we entered the Chem Lab, like, both Sakura and Hina were like really ecstatic and happy, like, oh yeah, this is the good kind of protein shake, not the crap that we had before. But the thing that we know about, right, Obviously, everyone must have looked around the school and around the new 4th floor that became available. But what we know for sure, as in we've seen those people inside the chem lab, is that both Hina and Sakura know of everything that's in the chem lab because we saw them there. Therefore, Sakura is dead. Therefore, the only person at the moment we can sort of guess that if it's gonna be poison that killed her, right? And as things like, oh, this is something that Sakura drink. Like, at the moment, that fits Hina the most, although she has the least motive to kill her, besides wanting to leave. So, you know, it's just, we don't know who else. Like, it's pretty obvious to say, to guess, to say with a 95 probability, that everyone probably went to the chem lab at a certain point, but we haven't seen them gone in, you know, so... For now, we're just gonna take it slow, okay?
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of blue or light blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. That means it fell on top of it. So this happened after the window was broken. We broke the window to get in though. Did someone hide behind the corner or something? And when we opened the door, that person just quickly sneaked out and left behind this? That would be a huge oversight to leave this behind. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. Well, she always says this. It's like she always gives the final... I think it was definitely the final thing in the Celeste, in the last class trial to sort of pin the murder on Celeste. You remember when she said like, oh yeah, the e-handbook? She said that was... It might not has happened or has something to do with the case or with the crime, but it might come in handy at some point during the class trial. That's what she said. And now she's saying something similar again about this this protein shake thingy. But it definitely, the fact that it's on top of the glass means that it happened after we broke the glass. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink, oh god. Wow, I don't like this. Why is everything actually possibly pointing towards Hina? Like, okay, let's say if it wasn't poison and this wasn't Celeste or Sakura's drink, then the only person that we know sort of, you know, drinks these protein drinks is either then Hina. Alright, that was the broken glass, the window. But this door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. What about this? I saw something black on the side, but we can't reach that. Chair? Alright, that was the chair that was used to block the door. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think that the chair had anything special done to it. That means that person was definitely inside of here. Or there was another exit that we don't know about. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. Right, rec room door, blah blam. Anything else? The clock. Why is the clock important? It's around 1 o'clock right now. according to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Probably for our alibi or something? Alright, let's look at this thingy. A wrapper. This kind of looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well...
Yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me. Right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. Wow. Just goes to show you, no matter how tough you think you look, candy can still sort of calm a person down. Which is like sort of a childish thing to do, you know, because that's something you give to your child. Like, oh, little Bobby, shut the hell up already. Alright, here, have some candy, okay? That'll shut him up. That'll calm him down. And the fact that Hina kind of did something similar to someone so big, badass, and intimidating looking as Sakura, and the fact that it probably even worked. So you gave that candy to Sakura? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. Wow, that's so selfish, Hina, not even sharing it. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. Ah, that's probably important. If this has something to do with the murder, then it once again points towards Hina. What? You really like him that much?
I mean...
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Huh, polka dot candy wrapper. Alright, the body itself. Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in his chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. Vomited blood is definitely poison. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body. Maybe her getting on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? I'm not entirely 100% sure of it, but I think you can vomit blood if you get a concussion that's really, really bad. You definitely vomit. I'm not sure if you vomit blood though. But that is a possibility, I think. Not a chance. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Anything else? There are a couple of things here. Let's what are these? I thought it was like rose petals or shards of glass, and it is shards of glass. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. That's gotta be the weapon that they hit Sakura on the head with. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? Oh, it's one of those bottles that's on the cabinet right there. So this must have been originally been a bottle. Glass of shards, right? Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. It's a chess set. Remember, was there a chess set here? I'm pretty sure there was, right? There was a Othello here for sure, because I remember Celeste mentioning that in the previous chapter when the third floor became available. But I think there was a chess set too, because it definitely had Monokuma figures on it. Huh. But I'm not as sure about that though. It's gotta be one of these bottles. Oh, wait! That's why it looks familiar. Is it inside? Is that thingy inside of the bottle? I think so. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. Yep, clearly there's 2 missing from the spacing, and actually looks like there's 2 missing. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how they get those figures inside the bottle? Yeah, that's what I wonder as well. It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the bolt placed inside. But yeah, I've seen people, the way that I've seen people do it in like TV series and stuff, is that they actually assemble, like they still go through the small opening of the bottle, but they assemble like every single piece with like something as thin as a tweezer to you know, put that place inside through the opening, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't obviously cut a glass bottle in half and then just glue it together or something. So they had to have gone through the opening. Or is there a way to expand the opening without it breaking of glass? I don't think so, right? I'm not a chemist, so I don't really know. But that would be the other possibility that's probably not even possible in the real world. But I know for sure with the both things, people do it with like tweezers and stuff. You've never seen that? Oh, yeah. Maybe I have.
In other words...
So, this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle. The thing is, let's see. Okay. Pawn, rook, knight, and king is there. So queen and horse are missing. I think it was the horse. The horse was the one on the floor. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things. Little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. It was a weapon, not necessarily the weapon, as in the murder weapon. But there's definitely one missing here for sure, I feel. You know, the queen one. Anyway, there's blood on the ground there. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make any sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? That's peculiar indeed, because that indicates that the hit happened there, right? She got hit in the head there, but then for some reason either stumbled all the way into this chair or another person moved her into this chair, which seems impossible for the people that are currently here. The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. Nothing? Oh, the locker, right. What? There are handprints on it. Huh? The locker is open. And there, on the inside. It's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust. That indicates someone was hiding in it, right? I think. That seems the most plausible explanation. What if we... Like, I don't think it's... The thing that I'm thinking right now, and I don't even know why, is that I think 2 people actually tried to kill Sakura, but they both didn't know of it from each other. I think that could actually be the case. I'm not sure though. Because the thing that I'm thinking, yeah, is that someone poisoned Sakura, due to within the protein drink, and someone else which has to be one of the 3 that knew she was going to be here at 12, was hiding inside the locker. And then when they saw the opportunity that Sakura was sitting down there, they sneaked out. I don't know if it's possible to sneak out of the locker very quietly though. But they sneaked out, grabbed the Monokuma bottle and hit her in the head. But then that remains the fact that the blood was actually, you know, near the magazine shelf and not... Okay. I don't know, never mind. But for some reason it really makes me feel like I don't think the person that is inside this locker is the same person that poisoned her, if poison is involved at all. Like there are clues here and there that is poison, but nothing is for sure yet. It's just the immediate thought I had at the beginning.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little extra something. So then, maybe the killer hid in there until the locked room was opened, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point. So that means that it has
Indeed.
that it definitely, that the killer or whoever the person hid inside the locker, it had to do with the murder attempt at Sakura, right? It doesn't have anything to do with possibly escaping or hiding after the murder happened. It has to do that the person hid in the locker before the murder actually occurred. So there's no one someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah. So then, what does this handprint mean?
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so. For the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. Uh-oh. This kinda concerns me a bit because I always feel like, you know, Kyoko has my back in every single investigation and she usually solves it way before we do. But the fact that she can't go on this deeper investigation herself outside of this room has me a little bit concerned. But I feel we solved 3 class trials, right? So I feel like we're alright to be a bit more independent right now, you know? We don't need Mama Kyoko looking over us. Actually, that's kind of weird considering I kind of quote-unquote like Kyoko. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say.